Alright, we want to solve this problem, which is still on sectional views. As we have here, the 3 views of a block are shown in first angle projection. Draw these views and also sections XX and YY. So that is what the instruction says. So we have to draw the 3 views, these 3 views that you see here. We have to draw them, and then we have to produce section XX and YY. So I'm going to work on the sections alone, as I said before. And for us to produce the sectional views, we need to produce this, and then we need to produce this. So what you just need to do is to reproduce this, and you reproduce this on your paper. So I'm only working on the sections. As I said, I don't need this. So but if it's exam and you come across this, you have to do the 3 as instructed. Then you work on the sections as instructed in the instructed. So for me, because I only want to produce the sectional views, so I need to produce this and I need to produce this. So the same thing, follow dimensions and reproduce it, which I've done here. Here is it. I've done it. I've reproduced the plan, and this is the front elevation. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to talk about the cutting planes. So we are producing the sectional view of XX. This is the cutting plane XX. So it cuts the objects like this, and then the arrow is facing down. It means that we are removing the upper part. So we want to look at what we have down here. Now, by the time we cut it and we remove the upper part, we are going to have, this is solid, so we need to hatch this surface, and then this is also solid. We have to hatch this surface. So these are the only 2 parts that we are going to hatch. So, and then by the time we remove it, it's going to be on the plan. That is, this surface will be hatched and this surface will be hatched. The rest will be plain, because the cutting plane does not touch this part. So that's what we are going to do. So by this cutting plane XX, by the time we remove this part, we will see this part being cut and this part being cut in the plan. It is in the plan that we are going to do the work. So I've reproduced the plan. This is it. So I'm going to hatch this surface and then this surface, because they are solid parts. So this is it. Now, so just look at how I'm going to do it. So we hatch this surface. Alright, so we are producing the hatching lines. That's what I'm doing here. So this surface is a solid part of the object, so it is being hatched. Now, you may be wondering that why didn't I hatch this part with this at the same time? No, because these are separate parts. This is one part on its own, and this is another part on its own. So I cannot hatch them together. So this is a separate part, this is a separate part. So now, for me to hatch this, I cannot hatch them in the same direction. So I'm going to hatch this in this direction. It's going to be in this direction. They have to be hatched in different directions because they are separate parts. So this is how you should do it. If you do it in the same direction, it is completely wrong. I'll be penalized for that. So I believe you can see the way I'm doing it. So it's very simple. So all you need to do is to know the solid part when the object is cut by the cutting plane. You look for the solid part of the object where the cutting plane cuts. So then you arch that surface. Alright, so there is it. So we have produced the sectional view. So this is sectional view XX. So let's go to sectional view YY. So sectional view YY, we need to look at the cutting plane. This is the cutting plane. So the cutting plane cuts the plan. By the time it cuts it, this is what we are going to produce. We are going to produce the front elevation. But all we need to do is to look at the solid part that we are to hatch. Now, the cutting plane cuts like this. That means we are going to arch this surface, and then we are to arch this surface, and then this surface. Then this surface will be plain, but these hidden lines or short dashes line, we are going to make them thick. Why are we going to make them? Because by the time we cut like this, I'm going to see there is a line here that goes down. So I will see it clearly, and I will also see this line. I will see it clearly. That's why we need to make this line a solid line, and we also make this line a solid line. So let me do it at once. So if you look at what we have here, I only put short dashes line. So I'm going to make it a solid line. So this is it, and then so this will be made thick. So a solid line, or a thick continuous line, but this surface will not be hashed. If you look at it, so the cutting plane goes in this direction, so it doesn't touch this part. So this is a plain surface. It's a plain surface. Now I want to do the arching now. So I want to arch the surface now. So we are still making use of our 45-degree set square. So just look at the way I'm doing it. You don't have to rush it. It's very simple. Alright, so as I did here in the plan, that is sectional view XS, that I didn't arch this in the same direction because they are separate parts. These are also separate parts. This is one part on its own, and this one part on its own. So I need to arch this separately, and I'm going to arch it in this direction. So I'm going to pause the video and arch, and I will come back because I've done one before you before. Alright, so this is what we are going to get. So okay, so when you are done, so write section XX here and write section YY here. So this is the solution to the problem on sectional views of the object of this object. So it's as simple as I've shown it here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. God bless you.